First of all, my name is Marc Detweiler, and my journey at VAHLE begins more than 10 years ago. I started as a working student. I got captured straight away from the university, and during my master thesis I started here at the development department, and I did some typical technical topics, what you're gonna do as a working student in the development team. But then a few things happened. I had some various positions then in development as well as in the sales department, and my path then brought me to this current role. What I'm actually do is the product management and marketing lead. And when you ask me about then the second question about the topics what I have to in my responsibility is it's market and competition analysis. It's about collecting the trends in the applications in the markets. We do analysis, we do pricing topics, we do portfolio strategies, roadmap developments, as well as then launch and promotion of it. But it's more than that. It's also motivating the teams. It's moving forward and creating structures. And I think this is also a very important thing because I'm based in Kufstein. I also have the communication between the teams in Austria, at the headquarters in Kamen, as well as to our global market organizations. And I think the third question was what my first project here at VAHLE was. It was a cool project. It was a research project called Interop, and it was about a cross-loading technology for electric vehicles. And this was the very first time where we used the 140 kHz instead of 20 kHz. So it was a further development of this, and this was the very first platform development for us, and this gave us valuable insights and for the learnings what we captured, and that we need to focus on certain applications, and that's what we did. We focused on the technology to the sorter application in the Intralogistics, which was the very good direction, very good idea back in those days. I think there are many sorters around the globe, different kinds. I mean, for us as a company, there are three sorters in a sweet spot area. They're called crossbelt sorter, the first one. This is you can imagine this is a carrier, and on that carrier there is a crossbelt on top, and they are usually on a circle or path, and then they can shoot the parcel or the envelope which is on top of it at the right position, and you use that sort of when you need very high throughput, usually in e-commerce or in parcel logistics. The second sorter what we are provide or with energy solutions is sure the tilt tray sorter, which is kind of the same as a crossbelt sorter, but instead of a crossbelt you have a tilt tray, and you use that usually when you have irregularly shaped products or suitcases. And at the end of the day use it at airports, for example, and also for sure in e-commerce areas. And then the third one what we are going to serve is some kind of a so-called narrow belt sorter, which is very close to a cross belt sorter, but you have, as the name said, is very narrow belts, and you can put their small packages, big packages on top, and you can then activate either the small narrow belt when you have a small package, or you can activate multiple cross belts at the same time when you have a bigger product on top of it. I think one of the most important topic is to harvest data. And the thing is that when you harvest data within the sensors, you're able of performing some kind of condition and predictive maintenance. And this is important because you know the state of health of your application at the end of the day. And when you know the truth of the sensor, you can predict if a sensor or your product is still in a good condition or in a bad condition, and if you have to maintain this product. I think that's a that's a key driver. That's a key driver. The second topic I would say is low maintenance products itself, because the trend is also to have very durable, very robust products. At the end also not to have a minimal maintenance, because this will also reduce then the personal costs for the end customers. And I think it is important also to have that in mind when you, for example, look into a sorter application and you have a 24/7 application which runs at 3 meters per second. When you calculate that, this product, or our product at the end of the day, will turn around twice the equator. And I think the third topic is energy efficiency, that all the time when you transfer energy from one condition in another condition, for example AC to DC, from DC to AC, you have losses, and you need to find a way to reduce that on a very high level, because energy is important, and this will then also reduce the costs of the end customer. And I think a fourth example is also to have flexibility and decentralizations. That the trend is also that people and customers, they don't want to have one single point of supply at the end. They want to have a decentralized supply power, that when, for example, one is falling out, that the whole application still can run, maybe at a lower throughput, but the overall system can run at least instead of completely shut down. That's true, because history-wise, CPS technology was always there for me. During the last 10 years, it was always a part of my career here at VAHLE, because again, I started here and it was the first project from the scratch. I was within the team to develop this new technology of the 140 kHz, so it will never go away in my mind. And the reason, again, when you ask me about the technology, why it was that good, I mean, we moved from 20 kHz to 140 kHz, and that means that we have 7 times the frequency, and that at the end of the day is to transfer 7 times the energy on the same footprint compared to 20 kHz. And that is for us the point that we can use this, I would say, degree of freedom, either again on the same footprint, providing 7 times the energy, or use that degree of freedom to reduce then the mobile pickups or the footprint, which gives us the flexibility to adapt the technology in all the different applications where we don't have that much space or have a very high requirement in the energy transmission. There is that one very promising market, or let's call it application, where we put our resources in, which is called OHT, overhead hoist transportation, which is a unique application within the semi-production companies. And this is by far a very, very cool application, because there you need very fail-safe products. They need to be efficient and very robust, because you need to imagine when you have those chip manufacturing and where you provide or the wafers from A to B, and we provide the OHTs with the energy, it is not allowed to have any single fault. Just imagine when you have a fault and the system or the company shuts down, the whole wafer production needs to stop. Or even worse, when there is a fire because of your products, maybe because of a shortcut or something like that, a short circuit, and you have a fire, your whole batch, the whole batch of wafers, they're damaged. There's a massive financial loss for the manufacturer. And therefore, I'm very proud that we have those products in that application, which makes me very, very proud, because again, this is top notch of the technology where we enter. And I cannot even tell it even more. You have to have a so robust product in this application. Otherwise, you are not listed. Everything gets connected, everybody wants to store data, everybody's talking about AI, and everybody wants to connect products to each other. So therefore, trends, what we also add resources to is Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7, and for sure 5G, or maybe in the future also then the 6G topology. We talk about cybersecurity, we talk about machine learning, we talk about cloud computing, edge computing, all that topics you need to have in a modern facility. Other things are sustainability and new materials. Our base, our core product is the conductor rail, and it's a very mature product, and therefore we want to dig into also the new materials. If we can find something next to copper, aluminum, stainless steel, stuff like that, this is definitely a thing where we put our heads together. Energy storages and peak shaving is a very important topic, to not even waste the energy while break in the application, so that we can, again, peak shaving is the vocabulary we're looking at, that when you stop or break a machine, that you use that energy and store it in a storage, that you can use it again when you accelerate it again. These are, I think, the overall broad driver also in my department. I think we learned that already during the interview. One of my greatest highlights for sure is the development of the 140 kHz technology, and that I was able to join this project from the very first draft to its success, what we have achieved in the last few years. So this is outstanding, and again, this is one of my personal highlights from the very first day until right now. And one thing about the learnings is what I learned from VAHLE, that we are the backbone of the industry, so some kind of global hidden champion. When you look at VAHLE, we are in the industries of the areas of electrification, we are in the areas of communication, of positioning, of control boxes. We have such a wide range of solutions and markets where we serve, starting from the ports market, from the intralogistics, from the automotive market, from the crane market, and right now this semiconductor clean room application where we enter right now. It's outstanding for me, and this is one of my biggest learnings, to be that backbone, always in the back, always in the back. You find our products always somewhere at the roof, somewhere at the side, at the ceiling, somewhere nobody have the interest usually to look at. But it's so important for the production and the processes on the whole world. And this is, again, this is one of my greatest learnings during the last 10 years.